So every time I come in my garage, it just reminds me of all the things from the past that I've really enjoyed. This car's really important to me. It's my first American car I ever brought. It's a 1965 Impala Super Sport. I was 20 years old when I brought it, but I had to wait till I was 21 to insure it. For some reason, they wouldn't insure you till you're 21 then on a big engine car. When I was really young, I was a paper boy, like most of us were at a certain age. This is a 1978 copy of Hot Rod and Custom. I still love that picture today. It's a 49 Olds. I think that car looks super cool today. Love it. So this means a real lot to me. This is a pedal car, an early 60s pedal car that I did for my boy when he was 1 or 2 years old, can't really remember. But it's, you know, I thought it looked like a 57 Chevy. I suppose I was trying to get him into the scene when he was really young. Another thing I was into in the 70s, most kids were, was skateboarding. I loved it. It's all part of what we were into. These you could get from Woolies. I think they were like $7.99, something like that. This is a real early one. They believe it's about 1960, mid-60s, and it's actually got metal wheels on it. So Gasoline Alley we've been doing for 10 years now, and it's really the Americana side of Goodwood Revival. So in there we've got the dance, we've got the stage, it's all rock and roll music. So everything about Gasoline Alley is Americana. But every year we try and do something a little bit different on the car side of it. So over the years we've done the gassers, we've done hot rods, we've done a surf scene, we've done Bikini Beach. So we just try and keep it a little bit fresh that way. But the whole idea of it is when you come into Gasoline Alley, you come into an Americana side of Goodwood Revival. The first big track parade that I helped organise was the gassers. Previous to that, in 2013, I think, we'd already brought the gassers in a little way to Gasoline Alley, so the whole Goodwood team had seen what gassers were. They absolutely loved them. So after, I think, 15 years of the mods and the rockers opening up the morning parade for Goodwood Revival, we decided on a few meetings that we were going to use the gassers, and it just looks a spectacle. Also, they're very loud. A lot of them run big block engines, so you're on open headers. So when we hit the track for that morning parade, it was fantastic. It blew everyone's minds. Loved it.
Smoke for days, yes, absolutely fantastic.
I suppose that's really led on to the 2021 opening up the morning parade with the hot rods. It's very important for us to get the morning parade right. It sets the whole tone for Goodwood Revival, so it has to be right. So this was loud. We had a lot more hot rods this time. We had nearly 70 hot rods out there, as opposed to when we did the gassers, we probably only had 20 gassers. So the whole spectacle was fantastic. It really worked well, and it's gone down a treat. The reason why I had 70 hot rods this year was because we're celebrating the 70 years of the NHRA. So it's 70 years, so we thought, right, let's get 70 hot rods together, which is easier said than done. So over from America, we had the Rolling Bones. They came over, they brought, I think there's 15 hot rods with them. So then we had to get the rest of them together, which we got from the UK. So I contacted several hot rod clubs that I know, and we just got this amazing bunch of hot rods. It was just great. We got the 70 hot rods we're going to use. We need somewhere to put them. Gasoline Alley is far too small for it. So just up around the corner, we've got the chicane paddock. So we come up with the name of Earl's Raceway. Looks great. Obviously we've got the connection with Goodwood, with the Earls. We built a control tower, which looked fantastic. So it looked like an old drag strip from the very early 60s. The early starts were great. I mean, like I say, it really sets the tone for the whole revival. So we're out there, when they flag drop, we all come flying off the line, wheels spinning, there was smoke everywhere, everyone was jostling position, but everyone had a great time. And that was what we really wanted, and it worked. One of the highlights of the weekend was the Rolling Bones. They shipped these cars in from the United States. They predominantly run 32 Fords, and just looking at their cars and seeing them in the flesh, in the real, it was fantastic. And the guys that came over, the drivers, such nice people. A lot of these guys were drag racing in the early 50s, so they've been into it for years, and they were such a nice bunch of people.
Hot rod scene is obviously quite dynamic and diverse, but in particular the Rolling Bones cars caught my eye, not only for their flair and their artistry, but also for the people that own them. Invariably, the people that have these cars have done great things in the world, and they've come together and helped build this culture of these Rolling Bones cars. So she's a Model A. It's the only Model A that they've built. It's actually 13 different bits of car. The doors are from a Packard, and the Mercury tops finish the doors off nicely. And they've just crafted this mongrel together. She's over 400 brake horsepower, so she digs out, she goes well, which is very important. And yeah, she's just a whole lot of fun. And wherever you go, whatever you do with it, last week I picked the kids up from school in it. And it's just everybody loves it. It's a great car. Well, Ken and Keith that build these cars, Ken's obviously a registered artist, and he has the vision. Each car is unique to its owner. The story is weaved and formed as he's hitting the metal. And you can have a good idea, and you can say, how about we fit this or we do that? And Ken will look at it and decide whether that's appropriate or not. So you don't always get your wish, but what you do end up with is a great car. And then the owners take these cars, and they don't really know any boundaries, so there's nothing that they can't really do. And they regularly do big events, big trips with these cars, and take them to places where you just wouldn't expect, like here at Goodwood. It's the first time that the Rolling Bones cars have been to the UK. And the owners were good enough to stand on and all attend, and they brought all these cars over just for the Duke for the weekend to help add some spice. And the noise, the thunder, the sound of them all starting up, tearing up the track every morning, I think woke most people up in Lavant and surrounding areas. So it's great to be a part of it, and it's wonderful for the Duke to recognise what the cars are and how special they are.